Nobody tells you this, but stopping sin isn't the end of the fight. If you could really beat sin today, your life would change in ways you might not even be ready for. And the worst part? Most people never get to this level. If you've tried to stop sinning and failed, drop "I struggle" in the comments right now. I want to see how many people are in this battle. And hit that like button now, because this video might be the only one that'll show you this for real. Everyone thinks the problem is just stopping sin, but it's not. The problem is what happens after you actually do it. Because when sin leaves, something inside you changes completely. Listen, if you want videos that tell the truth, no filter, subscribe right now. Because almost nobody delivers this kind of content. Have you ever felt trapped? Like you know what's right, but you just can't live it? The guilt comes, you ask for forgiveness, and then you fall again. This starts wearing down your mind. It destroys your confidence. You start wondering if you'll ever really change. Drop a comment. What's the biggest struggle you're facing right now? I want to read it. But now pay attention, because what I'm about to tell you, very few people understand. This is what really happens when you beat sin. The first thing that changes is your mind. The internal noise goes away. The guilt loses its power. You start having real peace. Not that temporary peace that disappears in a few hours. I'm talking about the kind of peace where you wake up and you're not immediately thinking about what you did wrong yesterday. Your thoughts become clearer. You're not constantly fighting with yourself inside your own head. It's like someone turned down the volume on all the chaos. And this is just the beginning. If you want to get to this level, subscribe now. Because this channel is for people who want to actually live this, not just hear about it. Here's what happens next. You stop seeing yourself as someone who struggles, and you start seeing yourself as someone who won. Your identity changes. Think about it. Right now, you might introduce yourself in your own mind as the person who keeps messing up. But when you actually beat it, you start introducing yourself differently, even if it's just to yourself. You're not the person who fights anymore. You're the person who fought and came out on top. And this changes everything about how you walk, how you talk, how you make decisions. Comment, "I will win," if you've decided you're not going back to the same life. But here's what nobody tells you. After you win, a different kind of fight starts. Now you need to keep what you earned. And many people fall here, because they think it's already over. They think, "I did it, I'm good now." And then they stop being careful. But it's like when you clean your room. Getting it clean is hard work. Keeping it clean, that's a whole different challenge. You have to develop new habits. You have to stay sharp. If this makes sense to you, comment "makes sense" right here. I want to know who's understanding this. Something else happens too. You start noticing more. Mistakes that used to seem normal, now they weigh on you. Your awareness gets sharper. Your sense of what's right and wrong becomes more sensitive. And this isn't weakness. This is growth. It's like when you clean a window. Before, you didn't notice all the smudges because everything was dirty. But once it's clean, you see every fingerprint. That's what happens to your life. You start seeing things you didn't see before. Small attitudes. Small thoughts. Things that used to slide by. Now you catch them. And you have a choice. You can keep growing, or you can go back to not noticing. If you want to actually grow, not just stay at the basic level, subscribe right now. The truth is that very few people get to this level. And even fewer manage to stay there. You can be one of those people, or you can stay in the same cycle. Most people hear this and nod their heads, but they don't actually decide to change. They think about it. They consider it. They say, maybe later. But later usually means never. Decide right now. Comment, "I choose to change," if you don't want to go back anymore. Here's something I've noticed. When you really stop sinning, you start understanding why you were doing it in the first place. It wasn't random. There were reasons. Maybe you were trying to fill something. Maybe you were running from something. And when you stop, you have to face those reasons. This is uncomfortable. This is where a lot of people turn back. Because it's easier to keep doing what you've always done than to look at why you were doing it. But if you push through, if you actually face it, that's when real freedom starts. Not just, I stopped doing the bad thing, freedom. I'm talking about, I understand myself now, freedom. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. After you stop sinning, you might feel lonely for a while. Not because you're actually alone, but because the people who were with you in that lifestyle, they're not on the same path anymore. And the people who are on the path you want to be on, you're not quite there yet. You're in the middle. This is normal. This is part of the journey. But it doesn't last forever. You'll find your people. You'll find the ones who are also choosing to grow. And when you do, those relationships will be deeper than anything you had before. Now, let me be straight with you. Stopping sin doesn't mean your life suddenly becomes easy. It doesn't mean all your problems disappear. You still have bills. You still have challenges. You still have hard days. But here's the difference. You're facing them with a clear mind. You're facing them without that extra weight. It's like trying to run a race with a backpack full of rocks versus running without it. The race is still hard. But you're not carrying unnecessary weight anymore. Here's a warning nobody gives you. After you stop, there will be moments when the old thing calls you back. It'll look appealing again. Your mind will try to convince you it wasn't that bad. This is the test. Because now you know what both sides feel like. You know what the struggle feels like, and you know what freedom feels like. And you have to choose every single day which one you want more. Some days it's easy. Some days it's hard. But every day you choose right, you get stronger. The longer you stay away from sin, the more you realize how much it was holding you back. Things you couldn't see before become obvious. Dreams you had but couldn't reach, they start feeling possible again. Energy you were wasting, now you have it for things that actually matter. Relationships that were suffering, they start healing. It's not magic. It's just what happens when you remove something that was draining you. At some point, something interesting happens. You stop thinking about the old life altogether. It's not that you're trying hard not to think about it. It just stops coming to mind. This is when you know the change is real. This is when you know you're not just white-knuckling it anymore. You've actually become a different person. And that person, they don't want what the old person wanted. Here's something else that happens. Other people start noticing. They see something different about you. They can't quite name it, but they feel it. And some of them, they'll start asking questions. What changed? How did you do it? And suddenly, you realize your story isn't just for you anymore. It's for the person who's still stuck where you used to be. This is when it all makes sense. This is when you understand why the fight was worth it. But let me keep it real with you one more time. This journey, it's not for everyone. Not because some people can't do it, but because some people won't do it. They'll say they want to change, but they won't do what change requires. They'll keep making excuses. They'll keep waiting for the perfect time. But there is no perfect time. There's only now. Either you decide today, or you decide to stay the same. Both are choices. Both have consequences. Look, I'm not saying this is easy. I'm not saying you won't fall sometimes. I'm saying it's possible. I'm saying it's worth it. I'm saying that the person you could become, that person is worth fighting for. Every single day that you choose right, you're becoming that person. Every single time you say no to the old way, you're saying yes to the new way. And one day, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. You'll see the distance between who you were and who you are. And you'll know it was worth every hard moment. Stopping sin isn't just about behavior. It's about who you become. And that changes everything. If this video spoke to you, subscribe right now. And comment, Amen, if you want to live this change for real. Because this is more than just words. This is about actually doing it. And I want to be here with you on that journey. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. And let's do this together. Comment, Amen right now. Let's go.